What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, man. As you guys can tell up on the screen right now, man, I'm showcasing a double V2 rocket gameplay for you guys here in Vanguard. This was actually the first double V2 that I got, and no, I do not mean two V2 rockets, one on each game. No, I'm talking two V2s in the same game, okay? So a double V2 rocket. If you guys want to get your first V2, man, listen up in this video because I'm going to be doing a deep dive review into this gameplay and showcasing basically just my thoughts and the gameplay and stuff like that. So how you guys get your first V2 here in Vanguard. Now, before we actually jump into reviewing the gameplay, there are a few things that I want to mention that makes this game very easy to get V2s. Obviously, the first one being that you have to get 5 less kills than normal. If you guys played Cold War or Modern Warfare, you guys would probably know that you actually had to get 30 kills to get a nuclear in those games, but in this game, you actually only have to get 25 kills. Now, unlike Cold War, which you guys might have played, there was actually a score streak called the War Machine or the Death Machine. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but you were actually able to get kills with that score streak and have it count towards your nuke. In this game, there are no streaks that count towards your nuke, so you legitimately have to get 25 gun kills to get the V2 rocket in this gameplay. But don't trip, because 25 kills compared to 30 kills to get a nuclear in Call of Duty is a pretty big difference nonetheless. And the way that spawns are in Vanguard and the fact that there's so many angles that you can peek from makes it super easy to get V2 rockets in this game. So before we jump into the gameplay review, man, make sure you guys do smash a like on this video. I've done this pretty much every single year for like the last 3 years now, and you guys really seem to enjoy it every time, man. So of course we are going to shoot for 1K likes on this video, bro. Okay, hit that damn like button. And shout out to these people for being early on the previous video. If you guys do want to win a notice shout out in a future one, man, make sure you guys are subscribed with all notifications turned on. And once you guys are finished, comment down below #BellGang. So starting off, as you guys can see here, the spawns are already a little bit whack. I just got my second kill right there, and pretty much we're already on the way to getting our streaks. Now, there are a few streaks in this game that I would highly recommend using. Obviously, some of them being the spy plane, intel, and the advanced UAV when you get it. However, you unlock that at level 52, I'm pretty sure. So it does take a little bit of time to get that advanced UAV. As you guys could tell, I was not actually even running it in this gameplay, but I still managed to get the double V2. Now, like I mentioned, this was actually my first double V2 rocket in this game, okay? And I was actually using a regular blueprint, okay? I wasn't even using a custom class setup. I was just using the regular MP40 blueprint that comes with the game, man. And I still managed to get the V2. Now, on Oasis, which I'm playing right now, as you guys can tell, when your team has B and C flags on domination, there is a pretty easy trap on A, especially if you have UAVs. It actually is very to trap on this spawn. You can go up top, look out these windows right here, and people will pretty much just run past you, especially if you have a gun with a suppressor on it. People will just not know where they're getting shot at from, which makes it super easy to get the nuke. Now, I've already reached my attack dogs, and I'm kind of saving my intel right now for a future, for some future kills, because right now, since we're controlling the spawns, there really is no need for a UAV. But I'm pretty sure that the spawns actually flip right here because my teammates capped A, and that is definitely one thing that you guys have to look out for when you guys are playing Vanguard, is the spawn flip, specifically on domination. Now, that's obviously a problem in many CODs, right? Your teammates just start playing, you know, the OBJ, and they just start getting really aggressive when it comes to capping flags. So you really do have to watch for those spawn flips, but over time when you're playing the game, you will learn the spawns on a lot of the maps. And since Oasis is a pretty basic 3-lane map, the spawns are pretty easy to learn, I'm not gonna lie. Now, right now, I'm just working the B flag because I'm not exactly sure where these people are going to be coming from. Now, as you guys can tell, I really do not have any teammates around me right now to my right. So I go over here to lock this down so I don't get flanked. This is a pretty big area where people like to flank from, because most of the time there is not a lot of people watching this side of the map. So since I don't see anybody pushing up in front of me or to my left, I actually make a move, and I'm just basically peeking corners into their spawn. Now, I don't want to flip right now, so I kind of go back to this little area right here. You can actually jump up on this ledge up top and look down that little hole in the wall right there. It's a super nice peek that you guys can work with. Now, also looking out of this window right here, they are starting to take B, so I see if I can get a kill right here. I could not work that angle, unfortunately, so I'm just going to kind of back up and watch this flank just to make sure that I don't get snuck up on. So these guys know that I'm here now, especially since I don't have a suppressor. These guys are fully aware of where I'm at. However, I'm almost positive that we flip again right here. I killed that last guy in the spawn slip. As you guys can tell, they cap C. So now I have to regroup. I put down my munitions, get some more ammo, get some nades and stuff like that. Now I'm working this left side again because this lane, like I said, isn't covered a whole lot. It's a big area where people like to flank. Right now they have the B flag, which means that these guys are really motivated to push right now. It's the enemies, I mean, because they're like, oh god, like we need to keep this B flag, right? So really they're motivated to push right now. I actually almost get killed right there because, like I said, that left lane it's pretty hard to keep track of because people can just kind of sneak up there at any time they really want. Right now, as you guys can tell, my teammates are starting to push up on that side actually, which means that they're either going to be coming from the middle or the right. So right now I kind of push into their house, and I think we actually flip the spawn here again, which is pretty much my main goal. As you guys can tell, like I said, they are just flooding through the middle right now. So right now I have to play my life. I think there was a guy up here, but he went down. Yeah. So now there's 2 guys at B. Spawns are about to flip again, and I just got my first V2. So right there, as you guys can tell, my first V2, I was literally just working the spawns right here. My second V2, since we're already at 100 score, I play a little bit more aggro right here, as you guys will see. I kind of got a mental note of how the enemies are playing right now. Really, they only push if they have the B flag. If they don't have the B flag, they're pretty much set back in their spawn and are very, very campy, which gives me the opportunity to really just work the angles. But as you guys can tell, I start getting a little bit annoyed right here because my teammates are not very aware of what's going on in their spawn, and they're just kind of pushing up and dying right now. And I'm pretty much surrounded at this point. So I go up top right here since there's nobody up here, and I go down. Actually, there's more people to my right, but I get stunned and I'm about to die. Luckily, I was able to get away. That was super, super clutch. This guy thinks I dipped out that way for some reason. So I throw a nade and he comes back up and I just gun him. That's that guy's mistake, honestly. I probably would have done the same thing because, you know, when you're running ninja, it's kind of hard to track people down. And I'm just getting flooded right here again. So I die. Now I really have to play aggressive. I really have to play aggressive right here, and I want you guys to stick till the end because the way that I get the double V2 rocket is actually insane how I clutched up, and I want you guys to keep a mental note of that at the very end of the gameplay. So right here, I start playing super aggressive again. Really just kind of killing as many people as possible and just trying to get them set back. And I really have to, I have to be on point right here because if somebody sneaks up to my right or left, as you guys can tell, they're throwing nades as well, and I don't have flak jacket or whatever it's called in this game. So I'm pretty much screwed if I get a nade thrown at by. If I get a nade thrown at me, my fault. So I call my attack dogs, and that'll definitely scare them a little bit as well. But my teammates, I don't think they're gonna flip the spawns right here. It kind of just seems like that my dogs are pushing up right now.
Gotta get back over here though.
So luckily they're still at A, but I think they actually did flip. Yeah, they did flip to C. Okay, I forgot about that. So they did flip again. As you guys can tell, I'm like, oh, that's not good, that's not good, because we're at 160 score and that'll go by quickly, especially since, as you guys can tell,
oh god,
that my team has B and A cap still, which means that we're still getting 2 points every tick, which is definitely not good as far as time wise. So I'm really in the time crunch right here. I popped that intel just so I can get a better idea of where people are going to be spawning at, because really they could flip at any moment right here. There's actually people spawning on this left side. It was really only one guy, but that just goes to show whenever you're at the C spawn, it does get a little bit sketchy sometimes because there's a lot more spawn points over there compared to where there is over at A. At the A spawn, you pretty much know that they're going to be spawning in the very far back point, but the C spawn, it can kind of get a little bit out of hand, which is why having C as your home flag is definitely the best bet on Oasis. Now this definitely gets a very sketchy right here because, as I said, I am running a default MP40 blueprint, and I'm trying to get kills as those guys are hiding under that car right there. So with this optic and the insane recoil that this has, I just have to really just pick my shots very wisely. The enemy team is starting to get a bit more antsy. They're starting to you know, just play very, very reckless right now. At this point, they're not really playing the objective. They're just trying to get as many kills as possible right here. So they're kind of unpredictable at this point.
Right here. I think we flipped again.
So at this point, we're at 193 score. But look at what I did right here. I actually call in my V2 rocket right here because it pretty much stops the game. And it'll actually go for a little bit longer. And then boom,
yes, we got it.
I got my second V2.
Let's go.
So if you're really in a time crunch like that, and I'm super glad that this specific situation happened in this gameplay, because I was actually able to, you know, kind of clutch up right there. And that was a thing back at Modern Warfare, which happened a few times to me in particular, where I was actually able to get some double nuclears by doing that strategy, actually calling in your first nuclear, letting the time go a little bit longer so you could get those extra few kills. And luckily that was what was able to happen. Now, unfortunately, at the very end, my teammates flipped to the C flag again, which made it a bit iffy, because if I didn't get there in time, then most likely I actually would have gotten the second V2 no matter what. But you know what I'm saying right there, more of the story is, man, especially on Oasis, a very basic 3-lane map. You have the middle, left, and right. It's really just all about working the spawns. Now, in that map in particular, like I said, it is definitely your best interest to have the C flag cap, so you can work the A spawn, because it's a lot easier to kind of pick your fights there and spawn trap in that area. If you guys want more tips and tricks videos like this in Vanguard, drop a like on the video, man. Like I said, we are going to shoot for 1K likes on this video. You guys go crazy on these type of videos every single year, and subscribe if you guys are brand new, man. With that being said, thank you guys so much for the support on the Vanguard content. We are going to be posting a fair amount of it before the Warzone integration comes out, so thank you guys so much, and I'm out. Peace.
Dropping my show like a war zone, starting a mosh pit, leaving with broke bones. 100K on me like hydro, count it up, audience cover the whole globe. Sleep doesn't hear you with astros. I got the setup that come from the cosmos. I don't need nobody telling me how to flow. I just keep stacking these subs like it's Quiznos.